They aimed to rattle the world's most formidable navy. Instead, they inadvertently sent a $60 million American fighter jet plunging into the depths of the Red Sea. The date was April 28, 2025, aboard the nuclear-powered supercarrier USS Harry S. Truman. What began as a routine procedure quickly spiraled into a costly disaster. An FA-180 Super Hornet, a pinnacle of naval aviation, was being carefully towed across the bustling flight deck. Moments later, under the immense pressure of a live combat scenario, it vanished over the side, dragging its heavy-duty towing tractor with it into the churning waters below. Why? Because the Truman wasn't on a peaceful cruise. It was under direct attack. Iranian-backed Houthi rebels had unleashed a barrage of drones and missiles, targeting the mighty carrier. As the ship's claxons blared and the crew scrambled into action, the Truman executed high-speed, evasive maneuvers, desperately changing course to evade the incoming threats. In the heart of this chaos, the sudden, violent turns, the wet, pitching steel deck, the multi-million-dollar fighter jet broke loose. Shouts erupted from the deck crew as they scrambled, but it was futile. In less than 5 seconds, the 60,000-pound war machine slid inexorably towards the edge, tipped, and disappeared beneath the waves. A nearby sailor sustained minor injuries in the frantic moments, a testament to the sudden violence of the event. But the aircraft, a symbol of American air power, was gone, settling somewhere on the dark ocean floor. Initial Navy statements carefully labeled it a non-combat accident, a technicality meaning no weapon directly struck the aircraft. But those aboard, those who felt the ship heave and saw the incoming tracks on radar, knew the truth. This wasn't mere misfortune. It was the direct consequence of operating under fire. The Truman lost a jet not on a calm training day, but while actively defending itself against a real attack from determined insurgents. Later reports confirmed the evasive actions were indeed a response to multiple Houthi launch signals. Sources affirmed the attack was genuine, the threat dangerously close. Yet, in a display of steely resolve, the Truman didn't pause, even as the Super Hornet sank. The flight deck remained operational. Other jets were launched, strike groups responded, and defensive systems stayed locked on potential threats. On a warship carrying 5,000 souls in hostile waters, hesitation is a luxury that cannot be afforded. It was a stark, brutal reminder, a multi-million-dollar asset lost, not in a direct dogfight, but simply because the battle raged around it. The Houthis hadn't just cost the U.S. Navy a jet. They had escalated a conflict that was already simmering dangerously hot. The Truman wasn't in the Red Sea by chance. By April 2025, the carrier strike group was the centerpiece of Operation Rough Rider, a mission born from the Houthis' escalating attacks on commercial shipping, U.S. surveillance assets, and allied vessels. The once vital trade route had become a treacherous hot zone. Just weeks prior, the Houthis had claimed the downing of multiple U.S. MQ-9 Reaper drones expensive, sophisticated assets. Their message was unambiguous. U.S. forces were unwelcome. Washington, however, remained unyielding. The Truman was a forward deterrent, a 100,000-ton symbol of American resolve, capable of projecting power anywhere, anytime. But visibility breeds vulnerability. Armed and advised by Iran, the Houthis were refining their tactics, experimenting with multi-axis attacks, drone swarms combined with missiles, designed to overwhelm even sophisticated naval defenses. This was the lethal environment the Truman navigated on April 28th, when a carrier strike group must violently shift formation under fire. Anything not bolted down becomes a potential casualty, even a fighter jet valued at $60 million. To understand the loss, one must understand the aggressor. For the Houthis, any blow against a superpower, downing a drone, striking a tanker, or even forcing an aircraft carrier into maneuvers that result in an accident is a victory. It grants credibility, garners global attention, and fuels their propaganda war. Targeting the Truman wasn't random. It was a calculated strike at the symbol of American power. While their projectiles didn't hit the carrier directly, they achieved a secondary goal, forcing a reaction, creating chaos, and indirectly causing a significant material loss for their adversary. The U.S. Navy does not tolerate such losses lightly, especially under enemy fire. In the hours following the incident, the atmosphere aboard the Truman shifted from defense to focused retribution. While the official report cited a non-combat cause, the reality of hostile action demanded a swift response. Behind the scenes, intelligence assets were already pinpointing the Houthi launch sites scattered across western Yemen. Retaliatory strikes under Operation Rough Rider were rapidly approved. EA-18G Growlers launched first electronic warfare aircraft tasked with blinding Houthi sensors. Seconds later, waves of F-A-18 Super Hornets roared off the Truman's deck, armed with precision munitions, JDA-MIS and HARM missiles targeting radar units, drone facilities, and command bunkers. Simultaneously, Arleigh Burke-class destroyers unleashed Tomahawk cruise missiles, streaking low and fast towards their targets. The results were devastating. Secondary explosions illuminated the Yemeni landscape. Houthi communications channels fell silent or filled with panic chatter. Key operational sites were confirmed destroyed. The message, though not broadcast on news channels, was delivered with explosive clarity: attack U.S. forces and expect a disproportionately powerful response. Since mid-March 2025 alone, over 800 precision strikes had hammered Houthi targets, part of a relentless campaign to degrade their capabilities. This incident underscored the perilous reality of the Red Sea, a critical artery for global trade. Carrying roughly 10% of the world's commerce, this narrow waterway is now a contested battlefield. If a state-of-the-art fighter jet on a heavily defended supercarrier can be lost due to the chaos induced by a rebel attack, the vulnerability of unprotected commercial shipping becomes alarmingly clear. The Houthi arsenal, increasingly sophisticated thanks to Iranian support, poses a tangible threat that demands constant vigilance and significant military presence. The loss of the Super Hornet wasn't just an operational setback, it was a stark warning shot. The line between controlled operations and the chaos of combat is dangerously thin, and the stakes in the Red Sea for regional stability and global trade are incredibly high. The U.S. Navy is being tested daily, and each test, each response, carries the risk of further escalation on this razor's edge. The fallen jet serves as a potent symbol of an ongoing, low-grade shadow war, where the next unexpected loss could carry an even greater cost.